Namaskar. Welcome back to Editorial. What difference has Bharat Jodo Yatra made on Rahul Gandhi and Congress? What difference has it made? He's been walking for quite many days now. Let us discuss that. Let's discuss both these topics. Let's get right into the show. So let me start with Rahul Gandhi and his Bharat Jodo Yatra. Bharat Jodo Yatra started 7th of September. We are almost on the 70th day, roughly 69th day today. So, what exactly was Bharat Jodo Yatra and what exactly did Bharat Jodo Yatra achieve for Congress and achieve for Rahul Gandhi? This is what we are going to talk. Okay, now before I get into that subject, I want to take you through something. Okay, so the moment I say Ramu Kaka, what imagery comes to your mind? The imagery of a man with a towel on his right shoulders who is a domestic help in a house. That's the imagery that you get when you say Ramu Kaka. When I say Raju, the imagery that you get of Raju is of a small boy, a small young boy. That's the imagery you get. Now, I know of Ramu, who is also a Kaka to somebody, who is a PhD in economics. I know a Ramu who is a doctor. But the imagery that you get of Ramu Kaka is of a domestic help. I know of a friend, a very dear friend of mine is Raju, who is a top businessman. But the imagery when I say of Raju is that of a young boy. Now, this in marketing terms is actually a representation of a brand persona. I will not call it a brand archetype because that has got different definition, but it is definitely a representation of a brand persona in order to build the brand. Now, this concept of Pappu has been used on Rahul Gandhi's image not to build the brand but to destroy the brand. And all over these years, his competition has very successfully used this word Pappu against Rahul Gandhi to destroy his brand. And you know what has happened? What has happened is it has actually destroyed the brand. It had shown Rahul Gandhi as a person who does not understand, who does not realize, who is completely lost in the woods. That was the personality that was more or less seen as when you talk about Rahul Gandhi. What this Bharat Jodo has done for Rahul Gandhi is it has ensured that the Pappu personality or the Pappu brand image that was created on him is finished. Walking for the last 70 days from Kanyakumari, and he is intending to walk right up to Kashmir, this walk has ensured that the Pappu image and his interaction with people, the warmth in which he meets people, the warmth in which people meets him, his understanding, his discussion, this Pappu image has been completely eradicated from the brand Rahul Gandhi. That's the first and the major achievement that Rahul Gandhi has achieved out of this particular yatra. I will come to Congress also. The second major achievement that Rahul Gandhi has achieved, and to a certain extent Congress party has achieved, and to a certain extent the country has achieved, is, I remember a couple of years back, I was having a chat with late Vinod Duaji. We were having an editorial meeting, and he had once told me that he said, listen, you know what? It is very sad that India, and he has done a Vinod Dua show on that, where he says, it is very sad that India is losing out on leaders who have actually worked on ground, who have actually become leaders out of a movement, out of a public movement, within the people, from the people. That is lost. It is not there in India anymore, he said. And I agree to it. But and I miss him today because, today, if you see, almost every leader that is growing in India has come from the ground. Be it Arvind Kejriwal, who came out of the Anna movement or whatever that, and India Against Corruption movement, or Mamata Banerjee, who has always been part of many movements, or today Rahul Gandhi, who is creating a movement in India. Who is creating a movement in India. So the fact is, today, Rahul Gandhi will be seen, or from today, from now on, Rahul Gandhi will be seen as a leader who has created a movement in India and who has risen up from that movement in India. That is what Bharat Jodo has done for him, and that is what Bharat Jodo has done for the Congress party and also for the country, because now India can boast of having opposition leaders who have actually been on ground, worked with people, understood people. That's the advantage number 2. The advantage number 3. You see, when you interact with people on ground, and that is why a lot of people say, journalists, why are you sitting in your studios and talking, or you should be on ground and talking, and I agree. When you go on ground, even in marketing, possibly if you are the best marketing brains are people who have done sales themselves, who have gone to a retailer and sold their products. They are possibly one of the best marketing brains in the country, in the world. You see, you can't sit in your room and strategize. You can't sit in a room and make marketing strategies. You can only make marketing strategies once you understand the consumer, once you understand the retailer. You need to understand the primary market and the secondary market well, which means you need to have been in the primary market and the secondary market, been with the consumers and been with the retailer yourself. That is when you call yourself a good marketer. What Rahul Gandhi is doing today, my apologies, is he is being a good leader. Why do I say he is being a good leader? Because he is on ground. He is understanding people's problem. He is relating to people's problem, and by the time he reaches Kashmir, he will understand what is happening on ground and what are the ground realities of people in India. He will be a leader who understands the psyche of India. He will be the leader who has his hand on the pulse of India. That's a huge achievement of Bharat Jodo. So now, with all said, the Congress party has almost come back to top of mind recall. Congress party is spoken about, the Bharat Jodo Yatra is spoken about, Congress leaders are uniting whichever place Bharat Yatra is going on. Ashok Chavan, there was a lot of rumors that he will join Bharatiya Janata Party, is very much part of Congress. Prithviraj Chavan came and joined the Bharat Jodo Yatra, said that G23 is a matter long forgotten, and all of that happened. So what really has happened is it has worked well within Congress party and also amongst the people of this country. Congress party is now top of mind. Congress party is now spoken about. Congress party, things about the Bharat Jodo, visuals of Bharat Jodo are now discussed and seen every day. That's the difference it has made to Congress. Now, what I don't know and I don't think is that this yatra may have direct bearings on the votes for Congress. I don't think it is going to have direct bearings on vote. I don't think if the yatra continues like this, and it also continues successfully in places like Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh and all of that, whether it will therefore make Congress party very relevant in the next election and all that, I don't know that. For which Congress party has to do a lot more. People like Mallikarjun Kharge, the new president of Congress, has to do a lot more. There has to be a lot more strategies that needs to be implemented. But otherwise, as far as top of mind is concerned, Congress has achieved it through this particular yatra. So that's the long and short of it. So good, whatever is happening well, whatever Rahul Gandhi is doing, and the man walks 25 kilometers a day, which is not easy in this heat. It is not easy in this heat. The man is doing a fantastic job. He's relating with people and he's non-pretentious. You can see the way he relates to people. It's so easy for him. So I think that's a huge forte the country has seen about him. It's so easy for him to relate with people. He relates very naturally with people. So all of this is what I think about Bharat Jodo Yatra. And so good to be back talking to you. Before I end, I want to tell you something that happened to me a couple of days back. I'd been to a session. I'd been to a panel discussion on a book. I'm not going to name specifics. I just want to give my emotional point on this one. I was launching a book. We were discussing. We are having a panel discussion on a book launch. This book was about a very famous social activist. It was about a socialist, a very famous trade union leader too. And in the book launch, in this panel discussion, I realized that, you see, the panel was there only to talk positive about the person, about the activities, about whatever happened to the person. In fact, the author, I went to that function thinking that the author had actually very well defined this personality, his good points, bad points, everything was very well defined. But unfortunately, even the author started defending the personality. The panel was just defending the personality, just eulogizing the personality. He was meant to be a demigod. My problem is, somewhere down the line, this is not what a panel discussion used to be in India. As a country, are we changing? As a country, have we now lost the sense of tolerance? Hearing the other person's point of view, or understanding that what you believe may not be the complete truth. There may be truth elsewhere too. We have stopped believing in it, because if you hear somebody saying something against you, you tend to clamp on that discussion. You tend to get angry. In fact, the panel almost was furious when questions were asked against the personality or some few controversies that the personality was embroiled in. When those questions were asked, the panel was furious. The author himself started defending the personality. He changed from what he wrote. So I found this very strange. So that's it. That's the point I wanted to make. Are we changing as a nation? Are we being less tolerant? And this is good for our democracy. If this is what we are, this incidentally happened in a university. So is this good for our democracy? What are we teaching our children? This is the question I want to end my editorial with. I will catch you tomorrow again at 10 o'clock. Till then, namaskar.
To know about the latest updates on our new news app, go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.